It's going. That going. And let me check over in this one here. That's going there. Okay. Good evening, Playmiko. And I want to get that. That's good. Alrighty. What's up? Got clean out my eyes, itchy, and I took a nap, and you get that sleep in your eye. And I think my glasses are dirty. Let me clean my glasses. The nice stream activity is to clean my reading glasses. Not too much. I'm working on connecting the hexa cardigan for your daughter. Nice. I think it's going to look really good and cute and functional. Oh, that's a lot better. Okay. Need to minimize you. Well, not minimize, but make it smaller. Okay. Waiting for more people to come in as usual. Tonight is going to be hairpin lace. And I know none of you are going to be doing this along with me because I doubt if any of my viewers, followers, or whatever have a hairpin lace loom. But they're inexpensive and make some cool looking stuff. But and they're easy to use. That, that. I'm just organizing my windows and tabs and files and stuff. Alrighty. Oh wow. Still got 3 minutes till 8. Oh, let me turn on a little more light. There we go. Give me something to drink. And if I need to, I can go in there and adjust that when that time comes. Oh, I didn't put out an announcement. There we go. Had to do the Facebook announcement thing. I can go back to that. Alrighty then. Way so we can see. Okay. Anybody else here? Anybody that's here, welcome. I'm going to start the actual stream here in a second. I don't know if not Clay, Crojo, Mojo will be here tonight, but I'm going to wait till Grammy pops on in. And there she is, like clockwork. Okay. I'm going to refresh my one page. Alrighty then. So, how is everybody this evening? I know Clay Miko's working on her hexa cardigan pattern. There's interesting guess this evening, might pop in later. That's fine. Again, there's no crochet along tonight because I don't think everyone else has the supplies, the tools, but that's all right. Okay, Hey, Gold Misfit, how are you? I'm just starting the stream. You haven't missed anything. Haven't even started. Just doing the setup. Okay, so let's get right into this. We are going to do hairpin lace. Now, above me, that is that is not my picture. That is a finished example of a project that is done with hairpin lace. I'm not going to show you how to do this finished thing tonight. I'm going to show you how to do this piece here. This looks like a rat's nest. This is the building block for this. The one picture above me is just series of this lined up and then connected to each other. So I'm going to show you how to do this building block right here first tonight. And I think we're going to do... I'll let you guys pick. Blue or white? Blue or white? Blue? Okay. So we're going to do blue. Okay. That's good. So first let me explain this is a hairpin lace loom. This is what you make this on. All it is, and this all comes apart, all it is two long metal rods and two, usually plastic, I don't know what they call this. But the key thing is on the show on these, we've got sets of holes. And let's use, that's actually perfect. So we've got a set that's furthest out. One's at either end, that's one set. The next two in is another set, and then that's another set. You choose which set you're going to use for the width of this. See how wide that is? This was done on the widest setting. You could do more narrow ones. We're going to use the widest one. So we're going to really ignore the center holes, the center sets for the most part. So you put the metal rods into the set you're going to use. We're using the outermost ones. And this got a snug fit, so you don't have to worry about pushing them too far in. We're going to zoom out. This is going to be the working area that you're going to use. Let me move that out of the way. You're going to do all of your work in between, right in here. One thing to start with that I recommend is, I don't know what we're going to call it, our safety lines, I guess. And I'll explain that in the future. I did not use the safety line on this. So we're going to take a contrasting yarn, and I'm not going to do a really long length of it. If you're going to do a wider piece, you do a much larger length of yarn. I'm going to do it about that far. Get my scissors. And I'm going to cut two of them identical length. This is going to be like a, kind of like a stitch marker. No, not really a stitch marker. A stitch holder, I should say. So what we're going to do is, doesn't matter which ones you use on here, but we are going to put our thread, and this the white here is not going to be part of your finished product. This is some scrap yarn. So I'm just going to thread it through one of these holes. I'm going to choose the outer one, and I can use a yarn needle. I might end up doing that, but I probably can just twist it if it's just scrap. And I'm going to put it in to one, yeah, there we go, into one of those. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it on. I'm just going to tie it real simple. Again, these are going to hold your loops to make it easier in the future. Have nothing to do with the finished product. They're not going to really get in the way. They're actually going to be a tool that's going to assist you. And if I can, obviously I can't because it's not that clean of a cut. Let's just try. And I should have had this prepped beforehand. Let me see if we can put it in through the other end. I really don't want to get a yarn needle just for this, but you know what? Tack with it. We're going to get a yarn needle. I'm going to use one of my plastic ones. Pop that through. And we're just going to do a simple knot. You're not going to pull on that. That's just going to just sit there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put the opposite end through the hole in the opposite, whatever we're going to call this plastic piece. Okay. So they're tied to the bar at the top end, and at the bottom end they're coming down like this, and we're just going to take both strands of the yarn and just do a simple overhand knot. to secure them together. So they're going to be tied to each other on the bottom, through the holes on the bar here, through the holes and tied to the top here. I'll explain that here in a second. So we're going to get our yarn we're going to use. We're going to make a simple slip knot on the end of our yarn, end of our strand. Actually, I don't want to make it to be that. I'm trying to put it closer to the end. That was not what I wanted. I did an overhand instead of a slip. We want a slip knot. So we got a slip knot here. And one of the bottom end, and it doesn't matter which is the top and the bottom, they're the same. But after we've put in our safety cords, that's our bottom. So we're going to pull off one metal bar off of this, just out of the way. And we're going to put that slip knot on that metal bar. And then we're going to reconnect. Now, move that out of my way. We're going to lay it, and I can't zoom out anymore. We're going to lay it like this in front of us. Give myself some slack on the yarn. And this slip knot here, we're going to loosen it up. Not tighten it. We're going to loosen up the actual knot part. So the knot is going to be somewhere closer to the middle. So I need to tighten it. Okay, that's pretty much the middle, roughly. And that's important. We're going to want our slip knot about halfway between our metal bars. Again, right now we're ignoring the white ones. We're not going to do anything with the white ones. They're just there to help us. The key thing about this is, let me try to get that a little more lined up. We're going to be turning this like a book. So if you're right-handed, which I'm right-handed, you're going to take the page and you're going to turn it to the left. Okay? And when you do this, the yarn's going to go with it. I'll explain here in a second. So anytime you're done a stitch, we're going to turn the page. And you're always going to turn the same direction. So if you're left-handed, you obviously turn the opposite way. So, what we're going to do, I'm trying to do this on camera is kind of difficult. I gotta remember how to do this. Wait, okay. We're going to start out with our loop on the left, because I'm right-handed. If you're right-handed, you start on the left. And you're going to take your yarn, your slip knot is halfway between your metal bars, and you're going to put it across this bar. And it doesn't matter where we go in here. Up and down doesn't matter. So now we're getting ready to do our first stitch. We have a loop here. We're going to turn the page. Is that correct? Hold on. It's got to be in the left, right? It's been about a week or so since I've done my sample, so I'm trying to remember. See here. Let me double check one thing. Oh, okay. I was wrong. Okay. My fault. My fault. Okay. Take that back. The the knot is still fine. If you're right-handed, you're going to keep this on the right. Okay. And you're going to take what you made here. You're not going to adjust your knot. You're going to keep it the way you are and put it towards the back. Don't worry about your little tail. Just let that hang. Put it towards the back. And then what we're going to do. Wait a minute. Wait. I'm confused. Oh. I'm relatively new to hairpin lace, so bear with me, everybody. Now you're all like, what the hell? Okay. Okay. I think I got it. Promise you this is not going to be a shit show stream, everyone. So, it's going to be on the right hand side. Our loop is on the right, and we're going to go over the top. And we're going to go. Is it that way? No, it's not. Okay. Promise you I've done this before. I promise. Okay. That's. I think we're good. The loop is on the left. I'm right-handed, so the loop is on the left here. The slip knot is in the center, and we're going to go over top of the outer bar, and we're going to wrap it towards the back. Let me zoom in a little bit to that. So our loop is here. Slip knot's the center. It's going over the right hand bar, and then it's going behind. Ignore the vertical strands. Okay. There we go. So now you can hold this however you want on the left. The key thing is this loop here. On the loop, you're gonna have a strand it's on the top side and a strand on the bottom side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our hook, and it can be whatever size hook you want that corresponds with your yarn, and we're gonna go into that hook, into the loop, grab your yarn, pull it through, and now we have a loop, and you bring it up. Now we have a loop that we're pulling up, okay? And now we can yarn over, like we're doing single crochets, by the way. So let me show that again. You're going to put your hook in the loop, grab the loop, the strand, because remember this is wrapped around, and this part's on the back side of the loom. Grab it, bring it through, and we're like that. Now we're going to yarn over, and that loop that we just made on the hook, pull it through. We made a single crochet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to keep that loop on the hook, and the key thing is with this is our hook right now is pointing upwards. We're going to take it and we're going to twist it so the hook part is going down, is hanging towards the bottom of the loom, and then the handle here we're going to push to the back side of the loom, And now the hook is on the back side of the knot. I'll do that again. Oops. So we made our single crochet. Okay, I'm not gonna, that's your basic single crochet. The only thing is you got this big old loop here that's there. Actually, I'll do that all over again. One more movement. That's what we'll do. Put our hook into the loop formed by the slip knot. Grab the strand, bring it through that loop, and now we have a loop on the hook. We're going to yarn over and bring it through the loop that's on the hook. And now our hook, our metal part of the hook, is facing towards the top. We're just going to rotate. The yarn will twist like that. Drop the handle part down below, so it's going down, and then rotate it back. So now the hook is underneath our work. That's the movement. So once you do that, then we're going to turn the loom like a book. And again, ignore the white strands. So once we've turned it now we have a loop. We've got a couple loops actually. We now have a loop here and a loop here. This was our original loop. This is the one we just made. And now we've wrapped over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into this loop that's on the left. We're always going to work on the left. Go under the top strand. Bring up a loop. We have 2 loops on our hook now. Yarn over and bring through those 2 loops on the hook. Holding this can be a little difficult. It works better if you're at a table or a desk. So we made our single crochet, and now we got to turn our hook the opposite way, drop the handle down, and flip it towards the back. And now you can rotate. And it's always important to get your loops on your left hand side the way they're supposed to. And I think I might have screwed up that one stitch. Let me take that out and fix it. Let's double check that. Sometimes that will happen, that the strand will get twisted. Okay. Go under, bring it up, 2 on the hook, yarn over, through both, and then flip it towards the back, turn, and that tail, the tail needs to go towards the back. So now I'm going to go into the loop, yarn over, 2 on the hook, yarn over, and through all 2. And now we're going to flip the hook towards the back and turn. Now we're on the front, and I think that, yeah, we're good. Hey, Norfairy. It's not that, no, it's not that difficult. So now we're going to go into the loop on the left. We have 2 loops. We're going to go into the top loop. We're done with the bottom one. And we're going to go under the top strand, bring up a loop, 2 on the hook, yarn over, and pull through both. Turn and flick the hook towards the back of the loom, turn the whole loom over, and now repeat the process. Go under, the whole time you're always going to have a loop on the hook, like regular crochet. Once you're done the stitch, you have 1 loop on the hook. So go into that loop. Again, the top one on the, it's always going to be on the left side, whatever's the most recent one. Go into the loop, yarn over, bring it through the loop. We have 2 on the hook, yarn over through those 2. Now we're going, and I'll show this again. So when you finish, you're going to be like this. You're going to rotate your hook 180 degrees, drop the tail to the bottom, flip it to the back side, and then turn your loom like a book. And now you're ready to do the next one. We're going to go into that loop under the top strand. Be careful not to twist them, because your finished work will look weird. Go under into that loop, grab the strand, bring it through the loop. We now have 2 on the hook, yarn over through 2. We're just doing single crochets. It's just, we've got this, all the singles are going to be in the center. You're going to have loops here and here. That's why we needed our slip knot near the center, and mine was a little off center, so these loops are a little bit bigger. If you're over to one side, your loops, and if you want that look, your loops on one side are going to be a lot bigger than the other. But it's easier if it's towards the center. So now I finished that single crochet. I'm going to turn my hook 180, drop it down, flip it to the back, and then turn the whole thing over and repeat the process. This is the whole thing. This is the entire technique of the hairpin lace. So we made our single crochet, turn and flip, bring it to the back, flip the whole thing. And the key thing is to find the very last loop on that side and go through the top strand, grab it, bring it up, and finish your single crochet. Turn your hook 180, drop it to the back, flip it around. And this is the pattern you're going to end up getting. And if I stretch this out, it forms like a zigzag type pattern if you stretch it out. And the more and more you do, so I flipped it to the back, so I'm ready to turn the loom over. The more and more you do, you could slide it down. So that's why I said it doesn't matter what part of the loom you're working on. I can slide this all down here towards the bottom if I wanted to, and you can bunch up all your loops. You could see here the purpose of these white strands that we have. They are now on either side inside these loops. So when we get more and more, let's say we fill up this entire loom. We fill this whole thing up, and we have no room to work it on. We just need to remove the bottom horizontal piece, slide everything down, not everything, but most of it down, onto our safety strands. You can have this as long as you want, and it'll bunch up, and then put this thing back on, and it'll give you more room to work. So that's how you could do a wide bedspread or whatever on a small loom like this, because this comes off, slide it off, give you more room. So I flipped the hook to the back, turn everything over. I'm going to find that top loop. It's real easy to find here. Go into the loop, because this is basically single crochet, but when you do a single crochet, you go into a stitch. This is the stitch that you would go into, like on single crochet. So you got one loop, so we're going into this stitch. We only have one stitch to focus on. We don't have multiple ones. And instead of your stitches moving horizontally across your work, our stitches are moving vertically. They're moving vertically. So go in, grab it, bring a loop up, two, and then yarn over through those two, just a basic single crochet. And then you just flip it, move it to the back, turn. What you can do if you want to, and I've done it on my previous sample, I'm going to do a couple more, and it's kind of difficult to show this one, lay flat on camera and hold this. It's easier if it's a little bit closer to me, but I can't do that for you all. But like I was saying, what you can do is, I didn't do a safety cord on my sample, so it all kind of looks like a rat's nest. But if you sit here and you find, where's the end? Let me find it. I know it's here somewhere. Okay, there's the end. And you lay it out flat. There's your loops. They're on either side. And what I did is, as I was doing it, I counted every 10 loops, and I put in a scrap yarn and tied it. So in the future, for Tuesday, I will show you where this comes into play, where it would be easier to mark ever so often. You could do whatever you want. I did 10. You could do every 5. You could do however many intervals. That's so you can keep track of loops to know how wide, because eventually the work will be like this. It'll be how wide. So if you're making a bedspread or whatever, you know how many loops wide that you need it. So this here is 70 loops on either side. It's even. Eventually, I will make this sample here off screen. I'm not doing it on stream tonight, but off stream, I will make this sample a total of 70 loops long, because I'm going to need that to join with the green. You can mix colors. You could do all the same colors. So this is the basic use of the hairpin lace loom. It looks more complicated than it is. Okay, so let's pretend if I had all these loops here at the bottom, it was all full. All I have to do is take this off, and I can do this, and even if it's not full, take it and slide it down, and that will give me more room to work. The difficult part of this is trying to figure out how to hold it in my left hand while I stitch, because I got to hold the hook in my right hand to do the stitch, and how to hold it with the yarn and the loom. And that's why using a table or something to rest the loom, most of the loom onto, like the bottom part, comes in handy. Now, back when we started, those holes, sets of holes, we're using the largest set, the widest set. That will determine how wide your loops will be, or your actual finished piece. I could have chose this next one in where the yarn is tied to, or the smallest to do real narrow pieces. Does that make sense? I know it's difficult. It can be challenging to grasp the idea if you're not actually doing it. And I know not everybody has a hairpin lace loom. They're inexpensive, and if it's something you would like to get into, It's pretty simple. But again, the picture above me, that's an example of work done with hairpin lace. So something so actually simple to make on this loom can make that intricate, complicated looking um, finished item. And the good thing about this is if you mess up, you're only going to take out a stitch or two. You're not going to have to frog the entire thing. So that is a good thing. Because you're only doing one stitch at a time. It kind of looks like you're lacing up the back of a corset, kind of. They name it hairpin lace because originally, I think in the 1800s, women would use actual hairpins, and their hairpins were more decorative, and some of them had two prongs and they were wide enough for the hairstyles of the time, and they would actually use those to do this technique. So, once you get the hang of it, as you can see, I've got a lot done so far in a short amount of time. Because it doesn't make a really dense fabric, and you're only doing the stitches in the center. So this would be a very quick to work up project. Even the finished part doesn't take that long to do. It looks more complicated than it is. You just got to get used to, once you make the stitch, like right now, turning the hook, flicking it to the back, and then turn the whole loom. I had to move my background mat closer to me on the desk because the end of the loom kept hitting and making that horrible sound on my desk, and I was like, I can't have this. And in actuality, if you were crafty enough, you can make your own loom because it's just 4 pieces. And if anything, if you made your own, you could have multiple sets instead of just 3 sets of holes. You can have as many as you want. You can have really wide pieces. I mean, the bigger the wider the loom would be more difficult to turn and flip. Any questions on this? Again, we are just making our this here, these vertical strips. Each vertical strip is formed, not the braided part, like the part I can't really, I can't put the cursor over it, but the image in between the braid, how it looks braids, that's this here. That's the single crochets. And you're going to end up, it's a technique to braid the loops to each other from one row, I guess you can call it, to another. I put a Pix of Hairpin lace shawl in Discord, not your work. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. That is a very intricate one. And I think it's just how they, oh, wow. Okay, so I'm going to show it here for anybody who is not in the Discord. And again, if you want, if somebody's here and if anybody is not part of the Discord, feel free to join it. And I think that link that is popped up in chat is an active link. So yeah, that is a type of hairpin lace. And I guess here, these wave pieces, they gathered up the loops on the edges. And it looks like they might have done a couple more intricate stitches on the loom like I'm doing now. What I'm doing is a basic version. That definitely looks much more advanced. So, let's move this down. Whoops. I dropped. What was that I dropped? Oh, my yarn needle. And at any time, you can set this to the side. Let's say I was going to set it to the side because I'm actually not going to do any more of this tonight. I will pick this up later. You got a loop there. Well, you just get out your stitch marker or whatever you're going to use, a safety pin, a piece of yarn or scrap piece of yarn, and there you're good until the next time you pick it up, and everything stays on the loom. And again, the white strands are just holding all of your loops so they don't get into a tangled mess like this can look like. And again, start up again, move this to the bottom. I got all this room to work. And then once you get however many, whatever length you need, take the bottom off, pull everything off the bottom, leave a couple, I'd leave about 4 or 5 loops, and you can keep working. So that's basic hairpin lace. We will do the joining of segments, multiple segments together on Tuesday. So let me put that to the side and move my stuff out of the way. Now we're going to sit and chill. Crojo Mojo is not here at the moment, so we're not doing a meme of the stream yet. If she does come in later on, then we can do the meme when she gets here. Even though I do have memes of my own, that's kind of her contribution. So I will let her do all of that. So I am still working on this same shawl. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of them. Hey, lady 1241, welcome. I just showed how to make. I'll pop it up again. The picture, I didn't show how to make that exactly, but the prep work for it, it's done with, it's called hairpin lace. I showed how to use one of these looms. It's really simple to do. It's just the concept of how to maneuver the loom and the hook. And then Tuesday, and my sample looks like a rat's nest. But Tuesday, we're going to take 2 of these and join them together. Again, I know this looks like a nightmare, but it will make more sense come Tuesday. So that's something to look forward to. Okay. We'll be back to working on the shawl. Again, I'm at, did I say 9 repeats? 1, 2, 3, 9 repeats. So, this is my second shawl of this pattern that have made. I'm in the middle of this. And then I'm going to show a little sneak peek. I'm assuming Claymiko won't mind, but I haven't made anything yet. She wanted me to make a shawl like this. There'll be a modification, a minor modification, which is simple to do. But this is the yarn that she chose. It's got, I already rolled it into balls. It's got yellows and greens and purples. There's some like creams in it. I'm not worried about missing the tutorial. You tend to put them up on you. Yep, I put them on YouTube. So this is the yarn that she chose to use. I will be making one at some point because I'm getting better at making these. This yarn that she has chose, she got a bunch of them. I got plenty of it. This is Loops and Threads brand, which is a Michaels brand. It's all washed out. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Oh, now you can see it. Wow. It's Loops and Threads brand, and the line is called Facets. It's the same type of yarn as the Red Heart Unforgettable. It's a roving type yarn, and it's the same weight, a weight of 4. It's a very thin 4. And the color, they call it Summer Sunrise. So that will be a project I will work on for her. Oops. Let me get my lighting back. But it will be this exact same shawl pattern. Again, this is the Fluffy Meringue shawl by the Crochet Crowd. If you go to Crochet Crowd on YouTube and search on that channel, the Fluffy Meringue shawl, Mikey gives a really good explanation on how to do this. Plus, there is written instructions. You can download the PDF for it. But once you do first couple repeats, you don't even need the pattern anymore, the written pattern. But in that color, she wants that color, but it's going to be this, but then it's going to be modified into kind of a shrug. It's a simple modification, but that's once the whole thing is done, then it's a thing that I have to join to it. I think it's going to look really, really good. Okay. Oh, yeah, no, I did that right. Oh, I have to redo this stitch because that yarn The yarn has thick areas and thin areas. It's just the nature of a roving type yarn. And the hook got snagged on the yarn. At some point, I would like to do this in a solid color to see what's going to happen, how it would look. I mean, I think it looks better in a variegated, but I will try, even if it's a small sample. And if I don't like it, because again, the pattern, it's a somewhat quick repeat. If I don't like it, I can always frog it. And that's something I always tell crocheters, beginners or seasoned crocheters, if they're worried or have a concern, oh, I don't know if it'll look good, or can I do this? I always say try it. If you don't like it, frog it out. And I always say crochet is not permanent. You can always rip it out, even if it's a project you did 20, 30 years ago. If you don't like it, you can rip it out and reuse the yarn. Some yarns are a lot easier to frog than others. Oh, I haven't worked on trying to get music on my stream. That's something I need to iron out and do more research on how to get it to work. I've watched some YouTube videos and I tried one step by step and it did not work. It was an issue with the software or something. But hopefully in the weeks to come we will have some Twitch safe background ambiance. So it's just not constant silence when there's not much going on. I'm trying my best, and sometimes it can be difficult, trying my best to constantly talk and be engaging. Thank you, Clay Miko. Even though there was no silence then, because I was running my mouth all the time. But if there's or was I totally derailed my train of thought? Yeah, I know I mentioned it. Trying to talk more, but there will be times where I'm not always talking, especially when I'm trying to concentrate to remember to figure out where I messed up on a pattern. And yes, that is one of the sound. Oh, was that sound loud enough? It might have been a little quiet. I might have to bump that sound up. And that's something that Clay Mika, we might have to test someday, maybe this week, do a test stream where we test the volumes of the chat sounds on your end so you all can hear it. Because I know the other day when we did that one, it was pretty loud. It all has to do with the recording levels when the clip was recorded by whoever made the clip. But that's something that you and I can do later. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing that tonight, because tonight so far is a pretty good stream, not like Tuesday. But a lot of hopefully more interesting, exciting things coming to the channel. Speaking of things coming to the channel, um, those of you who are in the Discord know about it. The week of April 9th through 15th will be our second Granny Week. We did one back in February. This time for April's, I'm going to be streaming all week, every night that week. So, if you count the weekend before and the weekend after, you will have 9 days in a row of the Crafty Cub. And in the Discord, there's a suggestion. I posted an announcement for it and asking for suggestions. And if you're not, you can always do, hey, Upcycly? I think that's how you...
Thanks for the follow.
Thanks for the raid and thanks for the follow. I'm doing pretty good. Evil Paulie Poo. I like that name.
Thanks for the follow.
Oh, thanks for the follow. Wow. So that week in April, I am
Thanks
doing.
For the follow.
Oh, everybody, thank you for the follows. I will be doing. I'm getting all discombobulated, and I'm glad you guys are rating and liking and following and doing whatever. But I don't want to mess up my stitch count, because then we're gonna end up frogging, and we don't want to frog. So that week of April, and actually that's a good thing to mention when everybody the raid's coming in. The week of April 9th through the 15th, we are doing our second Granny Week. We did one back in February. I just said that. And I will be streaming every night that week. And if anybody has any suggestions for a Granny related stitch, it could be a square, it could be a type of Granny stitch that's in a row, it could be anything that's Granny related. Either leave it in the suggestion channel, replying to that thread that I posted the other day about the Granny Week, or you could post it here in my about section. I think there's a suggestion box, a suggestion little widget thingy. And if you're able to post links, I don't know if you can post the link in the suggestion widget here on Twitch, but I know you can post links in the Discord. If you have a link to the pattern, that would be appreciated. If not, that's fine. I'm pretty good, Angel. How are you? So, want as many... Wait a minute. Okay, I'm just going to try to find... Okay, I had to find my bearings on the stitch where I'm at. I'm going to post... Not post. I want as many suggestions as possible for Granny Week, because I got a lot of days to cover. You're good? Nice. So, Upcycly, I think that's how you pronounce your name. You were right. You just I'm assuming you just got done a stream. What were you doing on stream? I know you were doing. I think the other week you said you were doing like um paper. Was it paper straw or paper tube woven baskets? I think that's what you had said. Making a plastic rug today. After I finished weaving a basket, ran out of plarn for the. Oh, using plarn. Oh, nice. I've never done that. Um, she's not here at the moment, but Crojo Mojo has made plarn and used plarn. I've never actually seen any of her finished items that she's done with it, but yeah, I've never worked with that before. For those of you who do not know what plarn is yarn, quote unquote yarn, that is usually made out of plastic shopping bags. That's a good recycling thing. So plarn's amazing. Made baskets with it and working on making a shoulder bag. Nice. I could see how it would be a good material for baskets or a bag or whatever because it's sturdy. So much stuff to make with plarn, and it's free. Yes, it's free, and it's keeping it out of landfills and stuck in a tree somewhere. And yeah, free is a really good word. If you talk to Grammy etc in here, that's like her favorite word. Well, it's probably her favorite non curse word. Yeah, I like most crafts too. I need to actually come up with some other non crocheting crafts. You're with Angel Level Crafts. Nice. Um, Trying to think what I have over in. The only craft I do is the odd diamond painting. I have a couple years ago. I did get a inexpensive diamond painting kit from Amazon, and I worked on part of it. I haven't touched the thing in years. I kind of like the idea, the concept behind it, because it's like paint by numbers, but it's less messy. Because free is your favorite four-letter word. Sale's a good one too. Um, I'm not a big fan of painting type crafts because I am not a good painter. If you want a wall painted one solid color, okay, I gotcha. But to do anything like artistic, no, I'm not the person. I can't paint and I can't draw. But diamond painting, like I said, is kind of like paint by numbers, but it's not as messy. Let me think you may try diamond painting on your stream. That's a possibility. Again, like I said, I've got it. I'd have to go fish it out. I know where it is. It's over with all my other or my craft non-yarn craft supplies are stashed. Um, it was a kit, and it was 4 images, and each image was probably about roughly a foot by a foot or so, and it was like a geometric type thing. It wasn't like a scene or anything. It's tedious, which I'm okay with tedious things. But I noticed when I was doing it, and I wasn't doing it on stream, I was hunched over, and then I got horrible pains in my neck and my upper back. So I got the supplies over there. You do diamond art on stream? Nice. And it happens with diamond painting. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a relatively new Discord channel, and we have a small little group over there. It's a really simple one. I don't have tons and tons of channels, and it's just not for crochet and yarn art. It could be whatever um, medium and art form that you're working on. Feel free to post projects that you've done. I have a Whips and Foes channel. So, what we're going to do is we're near the end of this row here. And when I get to the end, we are going to double check and make certain I did everything correctly. Because you know how the crafty cub can be. Oh yes, beaded crochet, yes. Yeah, actually I've got an upcoming I'm planning out the rest. I got most of April's schedule planned. There's a couple days that I need some extra things, so I could always pop that in there. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna do what I said. We're gonna check. Oh, thank you. We're gonna check to make certain I did this correctly, because I don't want to end up having a mess to frog all the way out. So far, so good. We're not having a repeat of the other week when that was not a good day. I had to rip out almost 2 rows of this. Wait, let me double check that. Gonna lurk. Oh, thank you. Oh, before you go, and I posted it in the Discord. I've made one already. This is in progress, and this is the finished one. And that's as far as I can zoom. This is pretty wide. I think it's almost 70 inches wide. But this is the finished one. And this is midway, and then there's more to it. So that there, and I can't even get a quarter of the width in the camera. I'm zoomed out as far as I can. So it's coming along. Oh, thank you. Again, it's not my pattern. Let me just double check this real quick because I'm counting my stitches. Okay, we're good. Like I said, this is the Fluffy Meringue Shawl by the Crafty Cub. Not the Crafty Cub. I'm the Crafty Cub. The Fluffy Meringue Shawl by the Crochet Crowd. So it's not my pattern, but I love it. And there's going to be a bunch more done in this pattern and then some different color yarn. So, no, we don't do that. We do this. Because there's another project I'm working on where there's a lot of chains, and that's why I just chained a lot, and it's like, no, it's not what we do. It's the problem when you're switching between two projects, and you get confused which stitches go to which project. Yeah, I tend to be a quick crocheter. Also, this pattern here, it's lacy, so there's lots of chains in it, so it does work up pretty quick. Yeah, your mind goes on autopilot, and you get halfway through a portion of your like, that's not supposed to happen on that project. That goes to the other project. That happens a lot, especially if one project is a very simple, repetitive stitch, like a granny square or corner to corner, and then you go to something like this where the stitches change up all the time, and you're doing granny squares. I'm like, that's not supposed to have that stitch there. It's that muscle memory, and your mind just wanders. But I kind of like, oh, my hook got all tangled in my chain there. I like projects that are like that are essentially mindless. It gives your brain a little bit of a break. And then you got projects like this where you kind of got to pay attention. Thanks for showing the original shell. Good to know that you finished it. Thought you were still working on the last one. I love repetitive work. Weaving and freehand crochet are like that for me. I've never done freehand crochet before. Which I'm assuming freehand is basically you do like whatever. Like you're not following a set pattern. If that's what you mean. I mean, I've come up with my own patterns. Oh, you made a sweater for your cat. Oh, wow. We got pictures of it. I use blow to make it. Wait, what's blow? BLO? I don't know if I know. Oh, back loop up. Oh. Okay. You think I would learn that I should know these terminologies. But anyway, I didn't mean to keep you from your lurk. I know you're probably doing post stream activities and all that good stuff. Have to get my Discord on this PC. I owe a lot of people pics. Okay, that's fine. No rush. Have a happy lurk. Oh, you do the same. Okay. Continuing along with the pattern. So, Clay Miko's been quiet there for a bit. You still work up. There you are. It's like psychic. Having to rivet some of your stitches while connecting this cardigan. Oh no! I was just gonna ask how the cardigan was going. Wait a minute. Let's finish that stitch the proper way. So annoyed right now. I started to connect the wrong side to the top. Yeah, but learning process. Make the chain the correct size. Let me check now just to make certain I'm doing what I have so far the correct way. Yep, everything's looking good. Don't know how you've had the patience all the years to do what you do. Oh, and you're not even quilting and doing clothing alterations, and you're just joining crochet pieces together. Yeah, you're just doing simple hand sewing. Imagine piecing together a whole bunch of squares to make a blanket with um, yarn needle and yarn. Oh, I'm near the middle of this row. And that's why I'm just doing the blanket as one big piece for now. Yep, have one of those as a whip, and now I'm rethinking that project. Okay, well, again, I like I had shown weeks ago. There are different joining techniques. There are ones that you stitch together, and then there's also the ones you crochet together. And the one that Grammy did, the blue and white one, she crocheted those together, but it's a certain type of stitch pattern. So it's not needle and yarn. I almost said needle and thread, but same thing. to do one of the big sections here. Joining was easy, just slip stitches from the back. That's all it was slip stitches from the back side. It looked more intricate than that. And I know some people double crochet both sides together. That gives a seam collar and sometimes looks funky. Yep, there's all different joining techniques. There's also one I've never done it for squares. There's a join as you go type method. Needs to be a single crochet. Pretty much, you didn't want a ridge at the top. The block already had plenty. Yeah, that block definitely has a lot of dimension. Oh, it did great on it. And for those of you who are new and don't, if you're in the Discord, it is posted on the Discord in the Whips and Foes channel. It's a while back ago. It's a blue and white square, granny square. It's a variation of a granny square blanket that Grammy did, and it's gorgeous. I think it's called the Northern Diamond something pattern is the pattern that she got for that. I think it's on I know it's on Ravelry. Oh yeah, that's one thing. Does everybody know about Ravelry? And has anyone ever used it? I use it every now and then to find patterns. You can find other stuff on there too. I think you could sell. I think you could sell patterns. You can get free patterns. You can buy supplies. I think you can sell supplies. I don't know if they have a section for finished objects. They might, but it's a good resource. I use it for a lot of free patterns. Back into there and get that. Oh, I just moved and my shoulder just cracked. I'm almost done this row of this pattern. At some point, I think I will make a shawl in a different pattern than this. I guess when I become sick and tired of this one, I will find a different one. Um, is Norfairy still here? And if so, are you still working on that blanket project that I saw pictures and I heard about? Okay, just checking. Because I remember seeing you when you popped in. Just checking in. Not working currently. I keep scrolling up. Keep at it. You can get it. If you've watched my stream long enough, you know I keep scrolling up. Okay, now we're going to double check this row. We're good on that row. Oh, now we're going to work the row that I like doing the. Oops. Wait a minute. Ah, okay. I know what I need to do. I need to go in and do the thing. I got to do the thing. I did the thing. But like I was saying, this row I'm working on now is the row. It's my favorite row to work on. The one with all the double crochets. Here we go. No. It's one of the two previous rows I just did gets ripped out the most. That's how I know I messed up is when I go to do the one with all the double crochets. If I don't have a place to do the double crochets, then I gotta go back and rip everything out. So the row I just did, that was one of the important ones to make certain that I had the spots to put them. What I might end up doing tomorrow during the day, I might start Clay Miko's shawl project just to see what this is going to look like in a different colorway. Let me just double check my stitch count. That's good. Oh, the suspense. No, I'm just curious to see how it will will look. I'm sure it'll look pretty good. I mean, not pretty good. It'll probably look great. It's just this is all I'm used to. Alrighty then, let's keep on going. Almost to the midpoint. Oh, Clay Miko, I gotta send you that pattern of that one blanket that I told you I had. I'll have to remember where. I have to find it where it's stored on my computer. Okay. I'm not. Wait. I'm not a fan. Don't think I'm done. I'll do it. I'll do. Okay. I'm not ready to put this on Discord, but I can show you. Okay. I won't. I know. I won't show it. Um. No, it looks fine. What part aren't you a fan of? The back part where you seamed it, or is it the length? Gonna have her put it on tomorrow and see what I think. Yeah, definitely do that. And if it's the length that you have an issue with, you can always do, if you want it to be longer, a little bit longer, you can always do granny rows. Remember I showed you granny rows, and I can help you with that. Just on the bottom to make it longer. Can't even make an effing napkin. And she made a kid sweater. It looks just fine. Yeah, I'll show you those. Yeah, I'll definitely show you those again. No, it looks good. I mean, I've never made a sweater. She's talking about a hexagon a hexagrany sweater that she's making for her daughter, and no, it looks good. I mean, I can tell that her concern that it looks a little short compared to um the length of the sleeves, but no, you're doing great. Yeah, I just sent it to Grammy. Hey, Seagam, how are you? Oh, Seagam doesn't know about the latest feature here on the Crafty Cub, and let me do it. I'm going to find it real quick. I'm going to find one. Um, this is what. That's not it, but this is what needs to be played when Seagam comes in. Not yay, it's dun dun dun. Oh, that's your favorite? No, it's not yay. It's the other one. And I will let you know, Seagam, I have not done it wrong tonight. Everything has gone smoothly. Now that you're here, it's probably bad luck, and now I'm going to do everything wrong. Length is probably good if she wears it with a dress. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could do that if with a dress and all. Yeah, that would definitely work. Or you can lengthen it. But yeah, have her try it on, and then you can see what what you think. It's cute. It's very cute. Um, were you thinking about adding buttons? Because if you're thinking about buttons, to look maybe like one or two of them, I've got large buttons in different colors. You can, I might have something, and Grammy might have something, or just an open one. You don't have to have buttons.
Thanks for the follow.
You don't know, have to see it on it first. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, definitely you have to see it on her. And tell you the truth, that would be easy to put the button on. You had to put a button on. The stitch already has. If you have obviously get a big enough button that would work. The stitch already has built-in buttonholes. You don't got to make separate buttonholes for it. I mean, if you want to, you could, but Grammy might. Yeah, you might have them. But no, good work. When Claymiko's happy with it, she'll probably post it in the Discord. So what's going on, Seagam? If Seagam is still here, yeah, post it. Yep, bring her over. She can spend hours sitting on the floor. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a good idea. She could pick her own buttons. You're not doing much. That's cool. Whoopsies. Yeah, earlier I was doing this, making this, and then the rest of it's going to be for Tuesday, and then back to my usual, working on the shawl. Sure, she'd love that. Maybe an idea for the new. Yeah, definitely. But the colors are great. And you said it's a cotton yarn or mostly cotton? Yeah, I've never made one of those hexy granny sweaters before. Karen cotton cakes, 60% cotton, 40 acrylic. Nice. It didn't even take the cake. Can make a whole second one. And you have four more. Well, yeah, I mean it is a child's size, young child size. So it's a lot of holes since it's a granny square. Time to make another blanket. Always have to have a project. Please. Almost done this row. Making progress. Hey, Lefty Lucy Crochet, how are you? Almost done this row. Doing great. I'm good. Um, I think you were the one who had mentioned the other week that had done the waistcoat stitch. Hi, Jamaica Queen. Okay, so Tuesday I tried to do the coat stitch before stream and on stream. It's not a complicated stitch, but I physically had a difficult time getting the hook into the stitch, and I used a much bigger hook than I normally would with that yarn. Just regular, ordinary worsted weight yarn. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'm like, I never thought that I would meet my match with a crochet stitch, but, and again, it's not that complicated. It's basically a variation of a single crochet. I couldn't get the hook in there. I mean, I could, but it took a lot of force. And I know I crochet tight on the tighter side, so that's why I purposely went up a couple sizes. Normally I use like an H or an I or a J hook. I went up to like a K or an L, and I don't. Yeah, it, I like the look of the pattern of the stitch work, but doing it, I was like, I can't do it. Sorry, I tried. I tried. Oh shoot, I missed it. Yes, it's tricky. I think I started chain with a larger, then went to smaller. Oh, okay. Looser. Yeah, if you stitch looser, yeah. I did upload it to Facebook, not Facebook, to YouTube. Um, yeah, I went up, and it's not the chain part. Stitching into the chain, I was fine because it's the first row. When you stitch into the chain, is regular single crochet. I was fine with that. But after you do your first initial row of singles and you go back and to do the knit, I'm calling it, it's a crochet knit stitch, but the waistcoat stitch, getting into there, yeah, I couldn't do it. So I guess I'll leave that to you and my other fellow looser crocheters. Okay, we are going to double check this row. And this row I think this is usually the row that's good, that I don't really have an issue with, because I'm doing these fan clusters. And I was counting them as I was going. So I just want to make certain. There's my middle. Middle looks good. I think we're good. Now we're going to go to the fourth row of this repeat, which goes somewhat fast. Oh, also Lefty Loosey Crochets. I had mentioned earlier, and I don't know if you saw it in the Discord. We are having an upcoming Granny Week again. It's the week of the 9th through the 15th. And that week, oh, I didn't do a chain. Or did I? Oh, the yarn just got real thin. That week, I will be streaming every night that week. So if there's a granny stitch or granny square variation that you would possibly like seeing done on stream, you can leave it in the suggestions. Yep. So, including, and I mentioned this earlier, including the weekend before and after. That Sunday, the 9th, I'm still doing temperature blankets. So that Sunday will not be do any granny stitches. But including the weekend before, so that was what, the 8th? Yeah. The 8th through the 16th, there will be a stream every night in a row. So that's 9 nights in a row. Much more motivated if I'm watching crochet stream. So this be selfishly good for me too. Hey, no, that's a problem. It's not a problem. 2, 3. Because I don't know if you were watching back in February when I did my first Granny Week. A lot of my usual followers liked it and they wanted more. You may participate? Oh, yeah, definitely. And the funny thing is, it's two, I'm not calling them out by name, but two followers in particular, weeks before that, they couldn't get a granny square. They could not do a granny square. They said they tried many times. It'll be a granny trapezoid. Hey, why not? But they both said that they tried many times to do a granny square and it didn't work and they couldn't get the hang of it and it just turned out horrible. Well, they learned. Again, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I showed how to do it, and then I did Granny Week, and it's like they can't get enough granny stitches. So the public demands more granny stitches, so I'll give the public what they want. Oh, you haven't done a granny square before? Okay. Well, what I might end up doing, I think that first night I might probably do a couple things each stream because the basic stitch of each of them, it's not a full project. So I will probably that first night go over how to do a simple basic granny. There's so many different variations on them. So yeah, I could do that as a. You can call me out by name. I could do a granny. I couldn't do a granny square for my life. Now I'm loving them in squares. I need to figure out rows and other variations. Yeah, she couldn't do a granny square, and she has almost completed a hexy granny sweater for her daughter, which that is the popular pattern these days for crochet is hexy cardigan. Actually working on a hexy cardigan. Oh, nice. Well, if if you want, you can join the Discord, and on my Discord there is a channel for any whips or foes. And those of you who don't know, a whip is a work in progress, and a foe is a finished object, or any other types of things that you're working on. It doesn't have to be crochet, it could be any type of project. I don't care if it's cooking or woodworking or whatever it is. Um, yeah, if you want, you could post pictures there. About to drop one of the most random whips just for me. Wait, for me? Wait. Okay. Got to double check on my counts. Nope, that's okay. No problem. You didn't really miss much. I've been working on the shawl again, and I did show how to do the basics of hairpin lace crochet, and it's a real easy thing. I got to know not everybody has a hairpin lace loom, but that is uploaded into the YouTube. Or since I know you personally, if that's something you wanted to learn, then you can always look at that. Oh, okay. Lady 1241 just posted a picture of some some seed, or they started from seeds, or yeah, I'm assuming yeah, started from seeds. Um, she said posted cucumbers, zucchini, and tomatoes that will make their way out in 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, that's great. That's I have some house plants, but and I've grown stuff from seed before. So yeah, that's exactly what that channel is for any projects or anything. So plants and gardening, that counts. A private lesson, payment in red, hot, and blue. Hot damn, hot damn. When did you want your first lesson? For those of you who don't know, Red Hot and Blue, it's a small chain. They've got like some locations here in Maryland, some in North Carolina, and I think some in Missouri. It's a chain of Memphis style barbecue. And they got, oh, the Discord name is it's called the Crafty Cobb. The link will come up in the chat. The link is also in the about section of my. Actually, you know what? I'll send you the link. Here we go. This is the link that you can click right now. That will take you right to it. Um. Anyway, like I was saying. Oh, and the automated one popped up just right when I was had sent the link. So okay, there's so much going on. Oh, Red Hot and Blue's got really good food. They've got all different types of meats and whatever. They have the best iced tea for a restaurant ever, and I love their they call it Grandma's potato salad. It's pretty. It's a second. It's a runner up to Grammy's potato salad. These guys are vibing with my houseplants right now because they can't go outside yet. Gotcha. Here for the burnt ends. Grammy says Nora Ferry can teach you to quilt for Cheesecake Factory payment. Oh yeah, that's another one. Cheesecake Factory is pretty good too. But Cheesecake Factory is everywhere. I mean, every metropolitan area probably has a Cheesecake Factory. Yeah. Red Hot and Blue's iced tea. And again, I go mainly for their iced tea and their potato salad, but that's not what they're known for. I mean, they kind of are, but need a refresher on the sewing machine. What I usually get at Red Hot and Blue is the two timer, where you have a choice of two meats, and I think there's like 4 or 5 to choose from. I get the brisket, which like is mouth watering, and the smoked sausage. Did good in home ec many years ago. Let's not talk about home ec. Home ec for me was more than many years ago. That was many, 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 many years ago. So you have competitive bids for food payment in exchange for yard services. Okay. I mean, you're the one who said you'll pay me in Red Hot and Blue if I give you a lesson on the. Was it hair? Wait, what was the lesson? Was it hairpin lace? Or I don't care if it's crochet. I'll give you a private lesson. Or I'll take broiled scallops, crab imperial, and snow crabs all day. Oh, this is in Laurel, Annapolis. I'm over here. Like, why have I never heard of this place? Oh, yeah. I'm in Central Maryland. They've got a couple locations here in Maryland. I think there's one in Northern Virginia. I could be mistaken. There's some in like the Raleigh, North Carolina area, and I think there's some near somewhere in Missouri. So it's a chain, but it's not like a chain like Olive Garden, which every town has an Olive Garden. It's not that type of chain. It's very limited. Now I just want to nail down the basics because I'm looking like a tool over here compared to Clay Miko. I can crochet the Mona Lisa. Clay, I can crochet the Mona Lisa Miko. Okay, I need to learn how to make a command where an image will pop up on the screen. So that type of command. So anytime that happens, and if he's having an issue with Clay Miko, doing that, it'll just pop up a picture of the Mona Lisa. Ah. Well, it's Clay Miko, yeah. Thank you. That's an appropriate sound effect. Yeah, hey, why not, Seagam? Yeah, I can't eat at this place anyway, but I'm like around there, but closer to the harbor. Oh, okay. So you're a local person. The eyes follow you, but it's more like Scooby Doo. Do you rip her face off and it's a henchman? It's a mask. Wow. But no, Seagam, yeah, definitely. If you can get a crochet hook and some yarn, Walmart has both. Try it. Now I lost count. But at least this is a row that I could easily count. 2, 3, 4, 5. I am. The internet is strange things. Takes me right to the locals without intending to. Yeah, that's because I know I've there was somebody in here. I think they were in Mexico, and then I think sometimes somebody was in North Dakota. But now it's like a local. Like that's cool. Again, anybody, whoever can have access to it, to Twitch and pop one over. I don't. Doesn't matter to me where you live. You want to crochet a self portrait? Oh no, 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 no. Nobody wants a self portrait of Seagam. And he's gonna say, "How rude." I think that's a chat command I need to put in here now. Can be done unless you craft wrong. Just saying. I rarely run into locals on Twitch. I stumbled in here by randomly browsing the Makers and Craft. Yep. Hey, I'm glad you did. Welcome again. I know you've been in here for a bit, but yeah, their iced tea and their potato salad are so good. Yeah, there's a bunch that are local. Their fried okra is pretty good too. No, if it's done right, it's not. Okra only gets slimy if it's overcooked and like if it's in like a gumbo, it can. Snot pockets. Why do I have the hot pockets jingle in my head? Try new congested flu pockets. Wow. Y'all are too much. Snot okra is what it's called around here. Wow. I like it. Um, let's see where I'm at here. My family and maybe my neighbors. Okay. Oh, it's dumb, not bum. Ba. Yeah, you inverted your D and B. Don't ever invert your D and B. So sour cream salts on the internet. Ew. What? I don't like okra, but I do use okra to make an okra water for my hair. I've heard of that. Yeah, I mean it's has a lot of moisture in it. There you go, Claymaker. You got it. You got the command correct that time. Okay. Oh, come on, come on. Let's get into the right stitch. Okay. And when I get done this row, well, this half a row, I'm at halfway done. Fell asleep in the recliner last night. Woke up with a sore neck. Ooh. Phone is ringing. Going to die. Gotta go talk. Okay, later, Claymiko. Next time, you gotta plug it in. Always have a charge ready for the crafty cob. When I get to the end of this row, we will have finished our 10th repeat or ninth. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. We'll have finished our ninth repeat. Yeah, yeah, you could do the meme. Yeah, because I didn't do a meme earlier. Yeah, I have some memes saved up, but I was gonna let you be the contributor for that, so we can do the meme anytime that you are ready. Let me just pull up the one thing. Yeah, little thing there. That was from North Ferry. 8, and let me get to this point here. I saw it, corner of my eye pop up. I haven't seen what it says. And let's switch over to the meme. The meme is friends don't let friends knit drunk. Um, I don't think that's Norfairy's problem. I think that's how he knits sober. Maybe him knitting drunk might help. Of course, anonymous. Yes, I have a yarn ball that I got at the Maryland Renaissance Festival. Like, heck, when was that? 13, 14 years ago. It's like stoneware. It was like one of the quote unquote defects. It wasn't it was it was a lot less because this little part here sticks out a little more, and you could tell I broke this off twice. I had to repair it. I had to use some super glue, but it still works. It's still functional. And I did put, oh, that's nasty. Nobody wants to see that. It's a piece of felt on the bottom, and because it was rough and I didn't want it to scratch. Okay, good night, Norfairy. Practice all that knitting, Norfairy. Yeah, it was at the Renaissance Festival. It was a vendor. They do a lot of stoneware stuff. I think they also had like tankards and a couple other different things, but they had a whole bunch of the yarn yarn bowls. You would catch a CTD. Crochet transmitted disease. Yeah, I've heard of people using a tea kettle, but fishing it in through the spout can be difficult. Got to get myself back on the wheel. I miss making stuff. Oh, you've done pottery. That's cool. I've only ever done any type of ceramic type stuff. In high school, I took a ceramics course, I think my junior or senior year. That was a long time ago. But we never used a potter's wheel. So I've never done that, used that tool before. I have. It caused me to have an entire class in college. I was so ready to drop right out and go become a full time ceramicist. Wow. I did not do that. That would have been a bad idea. No, I love a lot of pottery and different types of ceramic work and like lots of art forms. I gotta write this down before I forget. Where is my. I had a pen. And right here. Give me a second. If I don't write this down now, I'm going to forget. Double check this. Yeah. There was something else I needed to do. Oh, my brain is just. I gotta look. Okay, sorry. I'll look at that out. That's the rest of it. No, I had to take a note real quick. Where was I? Oh, I was connecting that. So, Grammy and Crojo Mojo, and anyone else actually, what are you all working on right now if you're currently working on something? Like as we speak. Getting near the end of this second ball of yarn. I'm going to use almost 4 balls. Order for the corner to corner, which is taking longer than the whole flipping blanket. Yeah, I know how that could be. I haven't worked on anything since about 2 p.m. Had company, finished dinner, another dishcloths with a nubbly stitch. Jamaica Queen just finished the final row of the Hexie cardigan. Just need to sew in the ends and maybe make a hoodie. Oh, cool! Yeah, that would be interesting with a hoodie. I don't know if I've ever seen one with a hood. Starting to browse Ravelry, looking for a knit pattern for a sweater. Yeah, there's some really nice patterns over there on Ravelry. I'll chime in too. Just finished a blanket and now starting a temp blanket over. Oh, starting over? It looks like a rhombus and I didn't do the right amount of chains. Oh, I hate that when that happens. So that means you got to do a lot of that. Glad I figured out your error now and not in August. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's the bad thing. If you've got a long term, large project and you get most of the way done and you're like, oh no, it's like you just basically want to cry. All that work for nothing. Unless there's a way that you could salvage it. Sometimes there is, but there are cases that you best thing to do is start over. But like I said earlier, and I say a lot, crochet is not permanent. Anytime you can rip it out and redo. I mean, most times you don't want to do that, but you have that option. Do very sassy scarf, though that's nice. So my little crochet angel was very helpful today. Oh, you've got a little angel that can help you? Double check this. One, two. I don't have a crochet angel. And we've got 10 repeats just done on this. Now I'm going to 15. So I got a couple more. Obviously, I'm not finishing this tonight, but we're getting there. Yeah, we're doing this right. This is the row I don't like doing. It's my least favorite, I should say. I mean, I like the effect it makes this raised portion, but I don't like doing part of it. It's just weird. Okay. None of these sweaters are interesting. Yeah, I had that problem. I was trying to find a different shawl pattern in crochet that was free on there, and any ones that caught my eye, either they weren't free, or if they were, the instructions were in a different language and they didn't have an English translation. Or if they did, it was, you could tell it was written in a different language and it was translated really bad. So, but also check out a lot of the yarn companies' websites, like Yarn Inspirations or Lion Brand. A lot of times they'll have free patterns on there. And they might have purchase patterns too. Because I think this is on yarnspirations.com because Mikey from the Crochet Crowd is affiliated with Yarn Inspirations. So this is on there. Think you're going for the dolman sweater, but you're still looking. And with Yarn Inspirations, they just that one in particular, they do have a download link where you can download the written pattern. Yeah, I've seen the Lost Souls done many times. It's very spooky. It's called the Lost Souls because the stitch kind of looks like a skull. But again, I've never tried to make a sweater. This here, what I'm working on, is my second shawl that I've ever made, and it's identical to the first one. But I think if I'm going to try another shawl or two patterns, then I think I might work my way up to a sweater. I'm trying to find a sweater pattern, like a cardigan sweater pattern, for myself that I like. And the problem is, most of the menswear's pattern, I don't like. Left Lisa 2 weeks ago, I had to frog my temperature blanket. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not always fun to do that. But yeah, I can't find a sweater pattern that I like for myself. Everything is, I don't know how to explain it. Oh, frogging is when you make a mistake and you have to rip it out. Rip it sounds like ribbit. That's why they call it frogging. So let's say, like you did with your temperature blanket, you had to frog it all out or rip it all out. Half of these women's sweaters could easily be worn by a man. True. But yeah, I haven't gotten the nerve up enough to do a sweater yet for myself or actually anybody. But I definitely would like a lighter weight cardigan. I don't want to pull over. You know frog fu, like kung fu. That's funny. Frog fu. I buy baby blankets at thrift stores with certain colors I need and bring them home and wash them and frog them. Yep, that's a really good use, good way to get economical yarn as long as the yarn's decent. Okay, I'm nearing the middle of this row. Oh, I did that one stitch too bad, too wrong, but does not constitute a frog. What is all these being designed for women with A cups? I have small breasted sisters, but please, there's no way I'm going to be able to alter this pattern. Yeah, that's the problem with some of those pattern designers. They don't really. Some of them do, but a lot of them don't design their patterns with different body types in mind. And that goes with the fashion industry in general, not just crochet craft fashion designers like Crochet, but even like stuff that you would buy at the store, like ready to wear type stuff. Grammy calls it being frugal, not cheap. Yes, it is frugal. Or thrifty, hence thrift stores. And that's good if you don't really care about knowing the exact fiber content and the brand and all that. Absolutely. Like I can tell that larger breasts are not going to fit most of these already, but like I'm going to make a whole new pattern. Yeah, you might have to design your own if you feel confident enough in that. Why not? That's another thing I need to work on is practicing designing something. I definitely do not, which is mostly the problem. Yep. I like to make these things for myself to be able to learn, right? Yeah, definitely. Love thrifting. Got tons of skeins, dirt cheap at local thrift stores last week. You're always going getting yarns at a really good price. Oh, I didn't show. Crojo wasn't here. So Claymika wants me to make her this shawl, but doing a slight modification to it after it's done to turn it into a shrug. We figured it out the way to do it. But she picked out yarn. It's this yarn here. It's a Loops and Threads brand. The line is called Facets, and the color is called Summer Sunrise. It's got purples and greens and yellows and creams in it. And it's the same type of yarn as what I'm using. It's a roving yarn. So that would be a project that I will be starting here, not tonight, but soon. Yeah, that is true. But I did um volunteer to do that. I don't think. I think she said that she wasn't um, ready yet to do a more complicated pattern. And again, I like this pattern and I like this type of yarn, so it's not that big of a deal. Family first. Well, I can have multiple whips going on at the same time. Do that, and then do our weird. Just as long as my whip doesn't sit in your closet for extended periods of time. Yes, ma'am. When I get to the end of this row, which I don't even know where I am on this row. Oh, a little bit more. Then I think we're going to do a raid on somebody if I can find somebody. Want to find a pattern I can understand for a shrug. Well, a shrug is basically a square. The simple one is to do a square and then join corners on each side. Is a basic, simple shrug. I found one that has a hood, so I'm very interested. Oh, yay! Um, Corjo, like I said, look at Ravelry and look at Yarn Inspirations or Lion Brand or trying to think of some of the other ones. Yarn Inspirations is the same company as Red Heart and Burnett and Karen's and Peyton's. You found an easy one. Oh yeah, Hobby Hobie. Yeah, forgot about them. And a lot of them, I know Yarn Inspirations. When you go on there and look for patterns, you can choose skill level and project types. You could choose like if you think if you easy, intermediate, whatever, and then choose if you want like a wearable or a blanket or I think you can also type in like search it by keywords like shawl. Problem: the bottom and sleeves look unfinished. They roll and don't have a finished look. Okay, well you can always modify that if it's the sleeves and the hem. Lady, if you're doing, you said knit. Well, actually, you could do that with crochet too. You could do like a ribbing type stitch to help finish it off. Crochet looked on Ravelry, saw some, but don't know if I can do the instructions. You could, try, and again, can always rep it out. And if you come into any issues, um, we're here to help. A lot of the patterns, when they're written, it seems weird, but once you get into it, it's like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Thinking of doing ribbing stitch from the bottom and sleeves, wondering if they finish the hood. You can also do that too. Just do a very thin, like a small ribbing on the hood. Oh, Phoenix Rising. Is that you, Lady 1241? Or yeah, I'm assuming. No, that's not. No, wait, is it? I can't tell in the. Oh, Jamaica Queen. Okay, I'm sorry. The names are yeah. The okay yeah the sweater you posted in there that looks great. I love those colors. I love how you changed from the white and then like the light purple, then the white, then the darker. Great color choice and great stitch work. Oh, okay, lady is lady. Okay, but yeah, with the hood, if you want, you don't have to do a really wide ribbing. You can do a real narrow one if it's not finished. And to tell you the truth, this pattern here, I'm not following it exactly how the pattern says. There is one, and I'm going to show you real quick. This little stitch here, again, I can't really teach you how to do the pattern, but this here, when you do this here, on the next row, there's a thing you do to this. You go into here. They are wanting to go into the stitch. I don't do that. I go into this space. So it's a slight variation. So I kind of modified it barely, but you're not. No one's gonna know. So again, with your if you find a pattern that doesn't look finished or you don't like part of it, you can always do a small adjustment to it. Yeah, Jamaica Queen's sweater is, I love it. You have to post the Ravelry link so you can see it later. It's only one pick and it's not perfect. Yeah, yeah. Post it in the general channel on the Discord. Yeah, I'm getting near the end. Once I finish this section here, we are going to find somebody to raid, if there is anybody to raid. And I'm just going to pop up my list and look real quick to see if there's anybody that we can raid. I want somebody doing a yarn craft if possible. I think and there's somebody knitting. Um, None of the people that I usually follow are streaming at the moment. Oh, we might do that. I think we're going to go there. Okay. Just talking out loud. Whoops. The yarn snagged. Whoopsies. Okay, I'm going to do that one bit of chain all over again. Good, we're back on track now. I don't know if I was on camera. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. I had zoomed in and I was off camera for a second. Alrighty. Last little section here. before we raid someone. It's been about 3 hours. I'm surprised I've gone this long. I didn't know I was going to stream this long tonight, but it's all good. Okay, let's get my stitch marker so I don't lose my loop. So that's 10 repeats done so far. So it's very happy with it, even though I've done it once already. So we're going to switch this back to me, and I'm going to move the keyboard over. Again, everybody, thank you for popping in tonight. I will be on tomorrow night at 8 Eastern for temperature blanket and then more of the shawl. Check out my, whoops. Well, I can't type and talk at the same time. Check out my Discord if you're not already joined, and the YouTube channel. Everybody have a good evening. I'm gonna start the raid here, and everybody have happy crafting. And in a couple seconds, we are going to raid. And good night, everybody.
That's to every Bulgari. I hope you had a good stream and that you're decompressing while post streaming. What did you think of the project? Yeah. Oops. Gonna yell at me.
Um,
Take a dab, you guys.
um,
What? Take a dab off Montana. Okay. Yeah. I need to so you guys don't have to hear me cough just under there.